what else we've got coming your way.
Time. Athletes ready. Let's go.
Round one then, mixed martial arts, 3x5 bantamweights.
I gotta say, Steve, I love having fans here. It's just invigorating me as much as this match is.
You can hear some of the individual shouts, can't you? Getting behind the man that wants to win this contest. Saddulaev goes to work quickly, looks more compact, even more solid than I've seen him before. He's always looked strong, but the way he just ragdolled Worthen there, who himself is a very big man.
Body lock takedown, and Troy Worthen was saying that he's like, there's no way that Saddulaev can keep me on the ground. And we're about to find out exactly what he's got on the ground. Saddulaev is just so strong when he gets opponents down. He's just out-muscles them.
So much of it is strength, but an awful lot of it is technique, where he places his feet. The way he shifts his body weight from one position to another with tremendous speed.
Troy Worthen's got those butterfly hooks, how he's got his legs, his shins on the inside of the thighs of Saddulaev, and Saddulaev is just relishing this position. Dropping a little bit of ground and pound. Worthen's trying to elevate the hips of Saddulaev, and he does a good job of getting back up.
Saddulaev lives and breathes these kind of moments.
Troy Worthen was right, though. Saddulaev wasn't able to keep him down.
Look how strong that upper body is on Worthen, though.
Yeah, those traps are
crazy.
Scary looking. Worthen did relocate to Florida, back home, and he's been training at Sanford MMA alongside Unglan Song, Martin Nguyen. He's just had a lot of really good partners for this camp.
Saddulaev definitely was after a fast start there. May have slowed down just a tick in the process. Maybe just trying to catch Worthen off guard in the early moments. They exchange knees, and I must say Worthen's looked the most crisp. But Saddulaev digs in the big numbers there.
There you go. Good job, Troy.
Knees to the body. He's hit 6 in since they came to close quarters. There's the 7th. There's a right hand from Worthen up to the left side of Saddulaev's jaw. You can hear the breathing. We've got microphones very close to the circle, picking up all of the natural sound for you, as if you're in there with them. Not that we would want to be, or at least I wouldn't. You might fancy it, Mitch.
Against these two animals, I think not, Steve. I am very comfortable right here next to you, my friend. I like how Worthen's utilizing these underhooks. He's trying to drop down to attack the legs of Saddulaev, but Saddulaev keeps digging underneath to pull Worthen back up. And this is just a muscle game, because both these guys are so high level in their techniques.
Saddulaev certainly working that knee to the stomach and up as high as the rib cage. He's getting warned about groin shots with those knees. I think that warning applied to both of them. But Saddulaev really picking them off. Good numbers he's managing there. Worthen digs in those fists to the body.
Look at the head of Troy Worthen, how he's just driving the head underneath the chin of Saddulaev. And that's just going to enable him to dictate the posture of Saddulaev. Good breakaway. Those are draining. You can see how Saddulaev shook off his arms. Those types of exchanges are draining on your arms.
Yeah, Worthen was moving his head side to side, wasn't he, underneath that chin of Saddulaev. He's trying to control that head. A great deal of the body can be controlled if you can manage that.
Action!
Worthen looks to be in really good shape, really not breathing that hard at all.
Yeah, this is what Worthen said he wanted to do. He wanted to utilize a lot of feints and head movement to draw out the strikes of Saddulaev. He wants him to get to overcommit so he can land counter shots.
Saddulaev just leapt in quite sweetly with that southpaw right hook and managed to make it land as well. But he doesn't quite have the same speed or crispness that Worthen has in his punches.
30 seconds.
Final 30 seconds of this opening round. After that really fast start from Saddulaev, Worthen seems to be the man who is controlling things. And he seems to be in very good shape, I must say. And there's another groin shot. And Saddulaev looks as annoyed with himself as Worthen will be annoyed to have received it. Give Saddulaev the chance to just recover, get some breathing exercises, clear that nose.
You can see how Saddulaev stretching out the arms. It's because of that, just the drain that Troy Worthen is putting on him when it comes to these clinch positions.
Gassin will be piling up there. That's why he's shaking them out there. He's putting a lot of pressure, using that weight Worthen a lot, isn't he? But he had to retreat in that scenario.
Ready, go!
Ready to go once again, though. Didn't take anything like the full 5 minutes that would have been available to him had he needed it. That's the end then of the first round, and they slap gloves. No hard feelings about the foul blow. He's bothered about those arms, isn't he, Yusup Saddulaev? They got quite a workout in that opening round.
You know, he's digging underneath for those underhooks, and he's basically just carrying the weight of Worthen, so it's going to really start to drain. But I like that jab put out there by Troy Worthen as Saddulaev was coming forward. It was a beautiful takedown that did score against Troy Worthen, but then this is what we're talking about. These little clinches are draining on an individual when you're constantly trying to pick up your opponent. See how they're trying to rub out that, just kind of that tightness that he's feeling right now? His arms are exhausted, and it's going to come down. It's going to be very important to see how this match progresses and to see what kind of game plan Troy Worthen is going to implement. Does he want to strike with him, or does he want to initiate more grappling exchanges?
I must say, you spotted that fairly early, Mitch, that he seemed to be having fatigue problems with the arms there, but he's giving a lot of attention to it. You wonder if maybe there's some kind of pre-existing injury as well, but it could just be the exertion he's being forced to apply in this contest. He started very quickly. That was really eye-opener for me. I hadn't seen Yusup Saddulaev start a contest quite as quickly as that before, but it didn't last that long. Worthen looks strong, he looks in tremendous shape, and he looks to have that crispness of punch that may be able to take control here.
Saddulaev does have a good, nice little 1-2 that he's trying to utilize here. That seems to be his only weapon. Troy Worthen seems to be mixing things up a little bit better on the feet, and you can see exactly what we were talking about. Troy Worthen wants to get into that clinch and start hanging on Saddulaev. The longer this match goes and the more he can initiate these types of clinches, you know, it might have an effect on Saddulaev as the match goes on.
And remember, what is at stake here is Yusup Saddulaev's #4 ranking. Worthen is not ranked in the top 5.
Watch the groin.
The athletes between Saddulaev and the champion, Bibiano Fernandez, are Kevin Belingon, Shoko Sato, and John Lineker. Where would Worthen find himself if he can beat the man in front of him today? Well, so far, he's making a good fist of it.
There you go.
Works the body with right and left hand. Again, he's got that head low, as you spotted in the first round, Mitch, that head resting on Saddulaev's chest. He'll go from right to left, either side of his face, just bothering him, just sort of standing him up, forcing Saddulaev to move from side to side to avoid the head clash.
See, it's these type of static contractions that Saddulaev has to do. He's holding an overhook with his right and an underhook with his left, and Troy Worthen is just hanging on him, and he's trying to attack those legs, but it's causing just a constant contraction of the arms of Saddulaev.
They are extraordinarily well developed, those arms, aren't they, Saddulaev? But they can still get very tired. But he's still working very hard to bring those knees up to the midriff, to the rib cage. That's where the bulk of Saddulaev's work rate is coming from when he's pressed against the circle wall in this position.
Nice body shots landed by Worthen inside that clinch.
Let's go.
Digging away with that right hand. For every knee that Saddulaev sends up, that right hand slams into the side of his body. Worthen letting go with his hands.
But it's hard for Saddulaev to create power with those knees because he can't move his hips. So he's just using his hip flexors to ram his knee up into the body, so they're not going to have a lot onto him. And you can see the punches of Worthen. He's able to rotate his torso and just create that little bit of torque to pop those punches into the body of Saddulaev.
Well, if Worthen was gaining an advantage from that position, he will have been a little bit disappointed for the referee to reposition them in the center of the circle. Right and left hand from Saddulaev.
That 1-2 is money for Saddulaev.
Can he replicate it? Open mouth. Looks the more fatigued of the two. Certainly not flagging by any means, but Worthen looks very comfortable.
If there's one thing that Saddulaev understands, is economy of energy. He knows just what to do at what portion of the match to make sure that he has energy in the most important parts.
Saddulaev showing a quick jab there. It was piston-like. We saw something similar after that, but the first one, and then the right-left as well from that southpaw stance. Kicking Worthen off.
Saddulaev is having success with that 1-2.
Doing good work at arm's length here. Can Saddulaev just bring himself back into this contest by keeping things at a distance? But once again, pinned to the circle wall, Worthen takes that lower stance, trapping him there up against the post, locking him in.
Watch the groin, watch the groin.
Saddulaev bringing that knee up and being warned to make sure it doesn't come into contact with the groin. They exchange knees to the thigh.
Saddulaev needs to create a little bit of separation here. He doesn't want to hang out in this clinch too long. He's having success on the feet. He's figured out the distance and the timing, and he's been able to put hands on Worthen.
You may well have seen him grimace there with a couple of punches that were dug in to the left-hand side of his body. Saddulaev didn't like that at all. Final dozen or so seconds of this second round.
10 seconds.
And Worthen is really showing that he is somebody to be contended with. Win or lose here, he's showing that he can mix it with the best in the bantamweight division. 2 rounds down, 1 to go. Judges will look at this contest and score it in its entirety.
Interesting second round. A lot of it was contested inside that clinch up against the wall here. Here's Worthen doing good work with the hands. He punches very well from the clinch position, but when they're out in the center of the circle, Yusup Saddulaev is utilizing that 1-2 with beautiful range and distance and timing. He was able to score some of those shots. So it's going to come down to how do the judges see it? Do they judge the clinch and the dominance and that positional control of Troy Worthen? Or do they like more of the striking superiority shown by Yusup Saddulaev? I think this third round is going to tell us who the winner is going to be.
Well, just to underscore what I was saying, the judges will look at the entire contest. They won't split this into 3 rounds. So they won't award 1 round to an athlete and then a second or third round to one or the other. It'll be the entire 15 minutes that they look at and then judge who was the dominant athlete over that period. So no 10-point must system in play here. Nice elbow from Worthen there as they came together for the first time in this third round.
See, I like the addition of the kicks by Worthen in this third and final. All Yusup Saddulaev was doing was boxing in the second, but now Worthen's giving him a completely different element to work with, and it's those kicks.
Left hand coming over from Worthen, follows it up with the right, but neither made contact. Saddulaev able to just get out of range. But he's done good work from this kind of range, Saddulaev. Can he bring that to the fore again in this final round? Worthen digging in that punch to the body as he's done so well when the Russian has had his back pinned to the circle wall. Same thing here in the center of the circle. Saddulaev's legs stayed firm there as it met the clash of Worthen's kick.
I think Worthen got some good advice in the corner between second and third round from his old coach, Hank Porcher, who was able to give him just a little bit of a different take on things, and he started to add those kicks in. I like the difference maker that those kicks are doing.
Nice left hand from Worthen. Struck Saddulaev on the right-hand side of his face. It was low on the face, but as you can see, alongside his eye, just a little bit higher up, there is now blood. So a cut on the right-hand side of Saddulaev's face. It may not be so troublesome as to see blood running into the eye because it's to the side there. but bothersome nonetheless.
Saddulaev sticking that jab out there. That's 3 that he's landed.
They are solid, Mitch, aren't they? Into the final 3 minutes of the contest. Saddulaev really coming to the fore with those punches now, but he's being met punch for punch by this young American.
We've got the Russian wrestling against the American wrestling, and they are throwing hands in the center, going toe-to-toe.
And all for our entertainment in this final half of the final round.
I like the way Saddulaev's moving out of the way. After he hits the jab, throws the 2, he's able to evade and come right back. Good little change of pace there by Troy Worthen. Didn't like what was happening inside the stand-up and goes right into that tie-up.
It's anyone's game in the center of the circle, isn't it? In fact, you might argue that Saddulaev gets the better of it. Worthen will be well advised, I think, to take this to the edges of the real estate.
Yeah, you can see Worthen had a lot of success inside that clinch, but Saddulaev is getting that space and he's working the timing.
Saddulaev running out of time to really persuade the judges that it should all go his way. Good right jab again from him though, but Worthen came back with a nice right hand. 35 years old, Saddulaev, and still has the cardio to go all the way through at top tilt. If anything, he's actually looking stronger in this round.
Like I said, he has that economy of energy. He knows exactly what to do to maintain a constant pace the entire match. I've seen it time and time again.
Nice right hand, and a little bit earlier on while you were speaking, Mitch, a quality little right hook as well from that southpaw stance. Worthen might just be starting to really feel the fatigue here, although he's still, to be fair, looks light on his feet. But he's not throwing as many punches as Saddulaev is, not in the center of the circle. He's certainly not landing those that he does throw, not nearly as much as Saddulaev.
But he's just getting interrupted by Saddulaev. You can see that Troy Worthen's trying to throw something, but then just that little jab keeps sticking him out there and touching him on the chin.
Love that right jab, and he really sends it into a hook as well occasionally. Great accuracy, pinpoint stuff from the Russian.
What a grueling match, and Troy Worthen looks exactly the same as he did in the first round. Oh, beautiful touches by Saddulaev.
Connects again with great accuracy. Saddulaev is finishing this round. Is it going to be good enough to persuade the judges that he's nicked it? He certainly timed that attack in the third round superbly well. If it's all about catching the judges' eyes towards the end of the contest, then Yusup Saddulaev might well have done it.
Wow, just constant back and forth action. The jab just interrupting the movement of Troy Worthen, putting it out there over and over again, and then was out of the way for the counter shot. This is some of the best boxing I've ever seen from Yusup Saddulaev. I am very impressed.
Very entertaining indeed, I must say. I thought Worthen was running away with it, but I'm not entirely sure now. Dom Lau knows though.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of battle, we turn now to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have called this contest in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. From the red corner, Yusup Saddulaev.
I think he nicked that in the final round. It was that effort in the last 2.5 to 3 minutes in particular, that exhibition stuff